Hello, everyone. Hello, I am Tim Lee. Thank you so much. Um, I'm super excited about being here again for another speaking about the quantum leap year. And I'm out of town now, but I am just I'm feeling great. I mean, it's causing me, of course, to stutter. Um, so many things are happening, and so many downloads, in a sense, are coming into me. And what I've been working on this week is what I want to talk about is fear. Um, One, as I said in the last video, I have never, and when I say never, I mean never experienced fear and insecurity and things like that in this way that I've felt like I've been feeling it in a while. And a part of me has been really hard on myself, being like, where's this coming from? Thinking that it's something I am doing or something that I am not doing or causing me to get into some sort of in alignment with the frequency of fear. Um, but what I'm getting is that fear comes as a test. Fear comes as a test. And if we can get over it, however that looks, then we are able to go to that next level. Let me say it this way. One of my favorite movies, as many people should know, is The Wiz. My favorite movie, favorite musical. And one of these days, I'm sure and certain I'm going to be in it. And my dream role, I think, is one of three. I think my dream role is The Wiz. Um, but I could easily do the Cowardly Lion and the Tin Man or the Tin Man. Mhm. Anyway, in The Wiz, what I'm saying is there was a moment when the Cowardly Lion, who said he didn't have any courage, had to free Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and Toto from all of the dangers that were coming around them in the subway. And that man who came down there with a little do, and then the little thing started growing and growing and growing until, it became whatever they became, those monsters. I think that represents fear. Like at this present moment, I'm saying that represents fear. And all of their fears were embodied, or what am I looking for? Personified, in a sense, in those moments. So the Tin Man was being electrocuted. Even though he couldn't feel, come on, somebody, he was afraid of being electrocuted because he was made of tin. You have the Scarecrow who was in a real sense trash. When he showed Dorothy that he didn't have any brains, he was like, "Look what's here, garbage." So like his thoughts, in a sense, were garbage, and he was afraid of he being garbage in the same way, and the trash cans were eating him. You have Dorothy, who was afraid of getting out into the world, teaching, high school students and getting into a relationship, and she was being closed in, claustrophobia. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I can go on. But at that moment, everybody had to face their fears, and most of them were afraid. And if it had not been for the courageousness or the courage of the lion, they would have all suffocated in those fears. So I'm saying after they got out of that place, then they got back on the yellow brick road and back on their path into their next level, which was Emerald City. Oh, I'm saying something. I'm saying something. And I'm believing that we all experience fear when we are on the precipice of something great. And when we start talking about a quantum leap year, when we are drastically about to shift our entire life. Look at the emphasis. Shift our entire lives. There's going to be fear present. And so how do we get over fear? One, we've got to understand that that is what fear is. It is an obstacle. How do you get over it? You jump over it. You see it for what it is, and then you keep going. You do not stop. That's huge. And there is I think one of the best definitions of fear is coming from Will Smith in the movie After Earth. And that's the movie when he was with his son, Jaden. It was a good movie, you know what I'm saying? But that part, if I don't remember anything else in that movie, I remember that definition. And he said something like, fear is not real. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. He said, I had it. It's something along the lines of, the only place fear exists is in our imaginations. And it makes us afraid of something that has not at present or never will occur. And then he starts talking about how insane it is to be afraid because, in a sense, it's just not real. It causes you to fear something that may not ever happen or may not, and has not happened. But it's also a fear of the future. You don't get afraid of the past. Like if you get a memory, you start thinking about some things, you're not afraid of that. It's just something that happened. Fears are predicated in the future. So I said in one of my Facebook Live things that, like, if I see a spider on the wall, I'm afraid of the story that I say about that spider. I'm afraid that that spider might get into my hair and crawl in my ear and lay eggs. You know, whatever I was saying that day, you know, which I thought was pretty good when I listened to it again. But we're afraid of the story, not about the reality. So when we're in our lives and we're thinking about doing something great, the fear comes in and it makes us stop. What if this fails? And we start fearing the future. This has not happened. You haven't failed with this instance or with this effort, and you may not ever fail. So get it for what it is. It is something that is going to either paralyze you or empower you. Because when fear is present, that means something great is on the other side. So when I get afraid today, tomorrow, whenever I get afraid again, which I hope, I want to say there's something great there. And I'm going to keep going to see what the end is going to be, right? So those are my words about fear. And, when we're talking about leaping, quantum leaping, yes, new levels, what do they say? New devils. But let's not be afraid of that stuff. Let us move forward and aggressively and confidently into what's next. And so what's after fear is inconfidence. So the next time I talk to you, or if I remember, I want to talk to you about confidence. But where I am right now is getting over fear. Getting over fear. And I like the way I said that because I'm seeing it as an obstacle. So I'm no longer afraid of losing something, or I'm no longer afraid of giving up something or whatever kind of lack that I may think I'm afraid of as relates to the future. I am going to have faith, right? You got to replace fear with faith. We walk by faith, not by sight. Isn't that what the scriptures say? We walk by faith and not by sight. If we're walking by sight, we will be afraid, right? If we walk by faith, we will, be, something other than afraid. Okay, I think that's it for me today. Hopefully this has been helpful. Let's continue on this journey to what is next. Quantum leap. Beyond the next level. Get over fear.